Hey guys, this is Marie and I'm back with another video, and this video is going to be how to set up a betta fish tank. So let's get started. So in this video I will be showing you and talking to you step by step how to set up a betta fish tank for the first time. So here we go. So as you guys can see here, this is a glass aquarium tank and this is 10 gallons and it's just standing on a metal stand from Petco. And my tank came from Walmart. It was a 10-gallon tank kit and it was for $30, and it comes with the lid, the tank, the filter, and the LED lights. Now for betta fish, for step 1, you will need to have a tank, and it should be a glass tank, and it should be between 2.5 and higher. It should not be a 1-gallon tank, and it should not be those glass bowls or those plastic critter keepers. They are not good for your betta fish, so please make sure for the very first time, if you are trying to get a betta fish, and to please do your research and make sure you guys go out and get a 2.5 and higher tank, because betta fish need to have lots of room to swim and hide and just explore, and it's just more healthier for the betta fish to live in something bigger than something small. Now you guys can get your aquarium tanks anywhere between Petco, PetSmart, or at Walmart. I always get mine at Walmart because they are kits and they're a little bit more cheaper, and I never had any issues or problems with any of the tanks that I've got from Walmart, and I just absolutely love them. I have 5-gallon tanks and also 10-gallon tanks with all my betta fish that I have now, and I just absolutely love them. So that is step 1. Now step 2, you will need a filter, and your filter could be any kind of size filter. Now my 10-gallon tank came with a filter, so I did not have to buy one, and I absolutely love this filter, and it does wonderful in my other 2 10-gallon tanks, and I never had any problems or issues with it, and I just absolutely loves it. It does a wonderful job, and it keeps the water very nice and crystal clear. And then it just comes with this little sponge. And the reason why your betta fish need to have a filter is because the water needs to be nice and clear and clean to keep your betta fish very healthy and happy. Now step 3, you would need to have a heater in your betta fish tank. So this is the reason why you would need to have a glass tank, so your heater does not mess up or melt the plastic critters. So you need a heater for your betta fish because they are tropical fish and they live in very warm water, and it should be between 78. So I get all of my heaters from Walmart, and they're usually about $14 to $20, and I absolutely love them, and they do an awesome job. The next thing will be step 4, and that will be a thermometer of any sort. I got this at Petco a long time ago, and you just need to have this inside of your tank so you can see where the temperature is at, and to make sure it stays in above the green line and not under, because that's when the water will get nice and cold, and it will not, your betta fish will not be able to swim as much as they can in warm water. And you can usually pick these up anywhere. Walmart actually does sell these, and your local pet stores. The next thing you would need will be step 5, and you would need your substrate. Now you can use any type of substrate. You can use gravel rocks, or you can use sand. Most people prefer sand, and it's a lot easier to most YouTubers. But as for me, I absolutely love rocks, and I never really had any issues or problems with rocks. So I'm going to be using rocks inside of this tank, and this is just natural gravel rocks that I got from Walmart, and this is about 3 bags. And when you grab your bags, make sure that you rinse them off very well, because there is a lot of dust inside of those bags, and the dust can get inside of the tank and make your tank cloudy, and it can harm your betta fish. So make sure you guys rinse your rocks very well. Also, if you guys get sand, make sure you guys rinse the sand out really well before you put it inside of the aquarium. Now the fun part will be the last part, and that is step 6. The last step will be the fun part of decorating your tank. So you can use any kind of decoration that you like. My favorite ones are these rock caves that I've gotten from PetSmart, and I absolutely love these. My other 2 tanks that are 10 gallons have these in their tanks, and I absolutely love these. They are so natural looking, and that's what I was going for. And the next thing you would need to use will be silk plants for your betta fish, because their fins are very fragile and they can rip very easily. So make sure when you're picking out plants or any kind of decorations that there's no sharp edges, and it's always silky soft plants or any kind of other decorations. And these are from PetSmart, and this is the geographic ones, and I absolutely love these because they are just the natural kind and they're very silky and soft. Now, I do have a plastic plank, even though I said not to use those, but as long as you can find a plant that is not sharp edges and it will not harm your betta fish, you should be okay. This one is actually not, it's plastic, but it's very soft and silky too, and it will not hurt my betta fish at all. So that would be your last step of the fun part of decorating your tank. So step one, like I said, the first thing you should do will be have a tank. And when you take your tank outside of the box, make sure you rinse inside of the tank, because there could be some dust or anything inside of the tank that might harm your betta fish, or when you put clean fresh water in there, it will make the water dirty and it might not be good. So you want to make sure that you rinse out your tank very well, and then go ahead and take paper towels or a towel and dry the inside. Now, before I made this video, I went on ahead and already did that, so the tank is actually nice and clean. And you could probably see on the bottom of the tank there is probably some water still there. So this tank is actually clean and ready to go. So the next step will be my gravel rocks, and this is what these are. So what you would do is you can just find something to put inside of the rocks and just rinse them off with warm water or cold water, whatever you prefer. And I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll be back in a little bit. Alright guys, I am back, and I have my rocks or gravel back inside of my tank. They are nice and rinsed off and cleaned, and there they are, and this is what they look like. And this is about 3 bags of rocks that I've gotten from Walmart. Now the next step will be to put in your filter, and here's my filter. And I'm going to go ahead and put it on the right side. So you have this little hook right here, and then you just hook it, and then it has this little suction cup that you put up against the glass, and it just usually sits in there. So that is what that looks like, and then it looks like that inside of the tank. So it's pretty simple and easy to set up. These filters are not difficult at all. I'm just going to move my cord on this side. Sorry guys. Alright, there we go. Alright, so here is the filter. So that is set up. Alright, so there we go. So we have the tank, the rocks, and now we have the filter. And the next thing you will put in will be your heater. So we're going to go ahead and slide this in, and I'm going to put this on the other side. Now this is a submergible heater, so you can put it all the way down as far as you want to. It don't have to be up to the top. It could be anywhere you want inside of the tank, because once you put the water in, it's submerged and it works perfectly fine. So I'm just going to put mine about right there. And then this also has a suction cup that goes up against the glass, so it's pretty simple. Alright, so there's that. So now we got the tank, the gravel, the filter, and the heater. Alright, and then here's just a little spongy thing that you put in, and there's these little grooves right here. It's kind of hard to see, but you'll just put that in like that, and then you'll put your other filter thing inside of there once I clean it. But that looks like it so far, so pretty simple. And then here is my lid, and then the LED lights are right here, so that's what those look like. So when you put the lid on, it will look like this. So you will have to have, you know, your holes right here for the heater, and then you got your bigger hole for the filter, and then you got the hole for to feed your fish. So that's what that looks like. Alright, so moving on to the next thing will be your thermometer. And you can put your thermometer any way you want it. When you put it in, you can put it in from this direction, or you could turn this little thing and it can come on this side, and you could put it in the front, or you could put it in the back, whatever your choice is. So I always put mine over here in this corner. And this is a suction cup too, so you'll just stick that in there. This is an older one, so it might not stick as well. Yep, I'm going to have to get another one. So I will grab another one through the video and go ahead and stick that in there for you guys. So I'll be right back. Alright guys, I am back, and unfortunately both of my little thermometers don't stick very well. I had these for a very long time, so I'm just going to have to get another one next time I go to Walmart. But make sure you do get one of these and put it inside of your tank, because it's very important to make sure your water is in a good temperature for your betta fish. But other than that, this is what the tank looks like so far with everything in it besides of, you know, the thermometer. So that's what your betta fish tank should look like. Like I said, usually on this side, on the left side is usually the heater where the little hole is, and then the filter is on this side. Now you don't have to put your filter right here in the corner. You can actually put it more in the middle if you want to. It depends on what kind of decorations you guys have. But I always like mine over here on the right side. It just always makes sense to me, and I just like it that way. But it's your choice and it's your setup, so it depends on how you like it. But you have little different options. You can do it on the right side, or you can do it more in the middle. But that's what it looks like so far. Now moving on to your decorations. Now when you first get your decorations, make sure that you rinse them off very well with warm or hot water or cold water. It does not matter, but make sure you rinse them off very well, because you never know if somebody else had these decorations and their store could have dust, and dust could be on it, or anything that's on it could be on the decoration, and you don't want it to go into your nice clean tank, especially when you put water in it. So make sure that you guys rinse off your decorations completely and then stick them inside of your tank. So I'm going to go ahead and rinse this off, and then I'll be back to put it inside of the tank. Alright guys, so here is what the tank looks like with everything inside of it. Like again I said, you would need a 2.5 gallon tank or higher, and that's what I have. And then you put a stand. You can get any kind of stand, or you can use it on a bookcase or anything you want to use. And then the next thing you need is your filter, your heater, and your substrate, and then all of your decorations that you would like to put inside of the tank. So this is what it looks like so far. It's completely finished. So the next thing you would need to do is just go ahead and put in your clean water. Now if you guys use sink water, make sure that you guys get water conditioner to make sure the water is safe for your betta fish, because sink water is very bad and you need nice clean filtered water. So if you can't get any gallons of water from a grocery store, you can use tap water, but just make sure that you have water conditioner to put inside of it. So now I'm going to go ahead and start filling up my tank, and I'll be back in a little bit. Alright guys, I am back, and here is what the tank looks like so far. I have the water completely almost filled up, except about maybe 2 to 3 inches left. And I went on ahead and started a filter, and went on ahead and turned on the heater. So the heater is on, and the filter is going, and we got a new filter inside that's nice and clean. And make sure you rinse that off before you put those in there. And that's what that looks like. Now right now it's going pretty fast, but once I completely fill this tank up all the way up to here, then it will slow down the water, and it will not hurt the flow of the betta fish when he's swimming around. But this is what the tank looks like when it's all set up. Now I forgot to tell you guys, when you are setting up a betta fish tank, there's 2 ways that you can do it. The first way is completely use fresh, clean water from your sink and then put water conditioner in there, and then you would have to let your tank cycle for about 5 to 6 weeks to get all the, the cycling going through before you would put a betta fish in there. Or usually when I set up a new tank, I have extra tanks already set up that's been filtering all this time. So I usually take water from their tanks and put it into the new tanks, and then put new fresh water from the tap water, and also put my water conditioner in there. So that makes the filtering go a little bit faster than waiting very long to filter your tank completely 100%. So there's 2 ways of doing it, but if this is your very first time ever setting up a tank, then you would have to go ahead and just filter your tank and let it sit and let it filter, and then before you put a new betta fish in there. But if you already have a tank that's already filtered, like the one I have over here, that is Storm's tank. His tank is completely filtered and it's been up for a very long time. So I usually take water from his tank when I fill up a new tank, and then I go ahead and put new water from the sink. And there is Storm right there with his little buddies. So that's 2 ways of setting up your tank. It all depends on if you have extra tanks, or if this is your very first time and you only have 1 tank, then you would have to wait that 5 to 6 weeks to let the filter go through. Alright guys, so this is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please give this video a big thumbs up, comment down below, and definitely don't forget to subscribe to my channel to see more. Until next time, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!